Bonjour tout le monde. We beat France.
Etc, etc, etc.
I tell you, Phil's getting really good. He's been learning on Duolingo.
I've been learning on Duolingo, yes, and I'm in the Diamond League, and I think I've won it today, but I still went to France, and when people started talking, I thought, I'm lost. But I even, as you will have seen in the video, I even deferred to Caroline to ask for the baguette. I was nervous, but I was filming as well, but we have had a wonderful time.
Yes, we have, and I have to say, I don't know if it's... I'm using Phil's computer. My computer, remember I bought it about 6 months ago, is completely useless for filming now. So I'm having to use Phil's photo. I told you, technology hates me. I hate technology. The feeling's mutual. But I looking on the screen, I think we're looking a bit red. That's not sunburn, that's just the screen.
We don't look red on mine.
Oh, well, okay, on my screen, we're all red and blotchy.
Because I'm using Caroline's as the replay, so I'm seeing it in your time. Caroline is watching it obviously on my cheaper laptop, which is still working 2.5 years after I bought it, and now is running OBS for us tonight, because now we've got it set up on there. The good news is that because we know technology doesn't love Caroline, we take out a policy of full insurance on the laptop. So it can now go back into Kerry's and be left with them. But we couldn't do that before because we were always having to use it for the show. But now that it's kaput and won't even run OBS, we can. But I'm able to use it so I can see what's going on. I know there's 34 watching.
And I know who were first three in.
So do I, but
let's
I'm
say
not
hello.
Spoil your
first
fun.
Three in today were Bonnie Tyler Fan 34, well done. And next was Ed Creative,
Hello,
well
Ed.
done. And in third place was Jason S. And I've just noticed just how out of centre we are. Things were a crazy rush here before this show started. So I've just got this camera and everything's all set up completely wrong. So just bear with us. I just have to keep leaning in.
Fortunately for Caroline, we have a fixed camera, which means there is no danger of me taking it and showing you around the room to see that at the moment, this studio is akin to my shed.
It looks a bit of a mess.
The only difference between this studio and my shed is the number of cobwebs and spiders in it.
Not in my studio, in this room, in the shed.
Yeah, my shed looks like Caroline's been decorating for Halloween. But that's another story. So what do we need to do? So you need to be up here, do you?
Oh, I don't know. We won't move it all around because we've also, my tripod's a bit dicky, so I've got the one leg of the tripod stood up on this little tiny pillbox thing that you can buy, these old-fashioned ones, to try and get it to even out. Right, Phil's going to move. There you
go.
Not sure if this, everything's reversed, so we've been trying for 3 or 4 minutes, and whatever we did, it seemed to make it worse.
I look in position now, so do you. We're both on screen.
I think we're still a little bit skewy, but never mind.
Oh, we don't mind.
Oh, you're a lovely bunch. You don't mind, you.
No. And nobody has said no sound, so that's good.
We've
that's
had
positive.
people saying it's all good.
Excellent.
Oh, hello, Gobo Joe 83. I meant to contact you. Gobo, that's Nathan's our son. And you probably remember Max. And Max is pretty unforgettable. This is Max's dad.
Yes, Max has starred in a few videos over the time.
Well, Nathan has just started up a new company. And I was going to give you all the links and everything today. There was a 10% off link, and I've been just working so hard trying to get this stupid system set up. I haven't had time to do it. So what I'll say, Nathan, if you want to, I don't know if it will let you put a link in, but if you put a link in, everybody wants to pop over and just have a look at what he does if you're interested. He does all gold-plated lucky pennies, silver-plated pennies, key rings.
Gift ideas.
Yes, gifts, especially for your teacher, because... Yeah. It's amazing how many teachers at the end of school time put their best teacher mug back into the charity shop because they must have hundreds of them. So he's trying to come up with different ideas for gifts. So, Nate, if you want to put anything in,
we'll give a better explanation
we'll show
next
it properly. Yeah, sorry, this is very slipshod. We'll tell you all about it next week.
Well, you can tell how slipshod it is because we put the countdown on at 7 minutes to. So we ended up the countdown finished 3 minutes after we were supposed to start. So, which is pretty good for the way it was, because at 8:30 we didn't have anything working at all. So thanks to tech support Tim, who came to the rescue at about 12 minutes to 9 and got the last bit started. We are online and we're up and running.
Now Ribble said, did the Facebook page get hacked? Saw something on there this morning. Apparently I did, and I've been sending out. I have, and Dorothy, thank you for pointing it out to me. she got a friend request from me, which I hadn't sent. I was already a friend. So if you get a friend request off me, ignore it. It's not me. I've now changed my password and everything, so it should be okay. But I didn't know they were on the site. So...
Yeah, because when they'd been a closed site, I wouldn't have thought they could have done that.
No,
But
if you could
obviously,
send me a link to whatever it was, if it's still on there,
anyway
that would be
afterwards.
great. Because I did look and I couldn't see anything on there, but I may have missed it. You know what I'm like.
Yeah,
Right then.
But Caroline's Facebook account was hacked, and that is run off your Facebook account, isn't it? That group.
Yes. So it could be something to do with that. I don't know.
But I know Caroline was
Clueless.
hacked, so... why these people do this, I don't know, because it just makes life difficult for the rest of us.
They're making money somehow. It's usually the reason, isn't
I
it?
can't imagine how, but they must be. There we
Right
go.
then, so
there we
let's
are.
get on with the show.
Gobo Joe's put up the link.
Oh, brilliant. It's come up. Excellent. So if
There
you
we
fancy
go.
going for a look
Anybody
later...
interested to have a little look
Don't
at
forget
that,
to give
a
him a little plug, and why
preview
not?
of that beforehand, and then we'll put it out full scale next week.
Yeah,
We'll give
we'll
you
show
all
you
the
some
details,
pictures
show you
and
some pictures and things next week, and give our Nathan a bit of a promo. There we
Well,
go.
the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of my purchases from France.
Are you?
And I don't know how many, we're all different ages on this group, how many people can remember the old terry towel in nappies that you'd have to put around your baby's waist and then you pin them on with a big pin
I know.
and then put these plastic knicker things on the top, rubber pants I think they called them as well. And oh, they leaked, they were a disaster, they were hard work to wash, hard work to dry, but if you remember them, you'll remember the old nappy bucket.
A nappy bucket.
Now, I'm wanting to get into natural dyes and I need bigger containers to soak things in. So I found this nappy bucket. It's a vintage nappy bucket for €1.50. And the only difference this is, inside, I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Yes.
The only difference with this is just a lid. The one I had, there was a little teddy bear on the front, and inside you could put like a toilet freshener disc thing up inside there, so that it made the bucket smell pleasant when you were soaking them in there, whatever it was you soaked them in. So I got this for $1.50, and it's perfect. You can get tons of yarn or cloth or something in there. I can't get the stupid lid back on now. Okay, I'll leave the lid off, and I'll show you what's inside. Look at that. Now, for the informed among you, you will know that that's yarn. It's not difficult to tell, is it? I think it's a wool yarn. I had two bags. There was this bag, which was all darks. There. And then I got this bag, and I want to show you the price.
That's
You
why I
love the
brought it
price.
in, yeah.
There it says, gratuit, free. 2 bags of yarn for nothing. So I thought,
Pick it up and take it away.
I'll have those. So I got loads of yarn in here, and some of them are quite nice. Like you've got this Berger one, which is quite a nice one, and a lot of them haven't got ball bands on. Well, most really. And then
And
look at
there's
these pretty
some
colours.
of the lighter colours there.
I think for some reason the darkers are wool and the lighters seem to be acrylic, but
It is.
I don't mind.
Very bright pink. So 2 bags of yarn for
For
absolutely nothing at all. It pays to know your French.
It does.
Gratuit.
Are we learning? Do we pronounce that last T?
No, it's got to be gratuit, because if there was an E after it, you'd say the T.
Yes.
But if there's no E after it, you don't say the T. I know this, but I never remember when I'm saying words. So it's gratuit.
So there we go.
There we go.
So that was my first find.
That's
We
2
didn't buy
finds.
as much as usual. Yes, 2 finds. We didn't buy as much as usual. We
No.
were trying to be a little bit sensible because I used to sell on eBay and I've restarted. So we brought a lot of things down from the attic and you can't move in here now.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm not going to buy it on this trip. I'm going to keep trying to list what I have got and then I'll
We've still
buy
got
next trip.
We've still got items from 3 trips ago up in the attic because Caroline stopped doing the eBay reselling, so it just got stocked up. But now they're coming back out, so I kind of said it didn't seem sensible to be rushing around. We could take more of a leisurely time. That's why I took the camera with me and I made the film, but we just made the one film this time, covering a couple of the brocants because we just wanted to chill as much as we could.
Yes, which we did.
But of course, Caroline does love her craft, and as she said, she's not going to walk past 2 bags of yarn for nothing. Just ain't going to happen. And because Caroline was looking specifically in the UK as well before we left for suitable vessels for dyeing things in, then that's what we end up doing. And it's nice sometimes when you go to these places, it's nice to pick up the random thing you never imagined.
Yep.
And we picked up 1 or 2 of those. but it's also nice to have something we're looking for. I'd always say to
Yes.
Karen, so what is it you're on the lookout for? And this time, as I explained in the video, it was pans. And she was very specific. It had to be enamel or steel. Didn't want aluminium. Didn't want something that was chipped or damaged on the inside. There was rust, because that would affect it. So we knew what we were looking for, and we had some success. We did have some success. In fact, I can answer one of the questions for you now from the video, because at one point in the video, Caroline was to-ing and fro-ing about whether or not to ask the price and purchase a particular pan, because there was boxes of stuff everywhere. If you remember, we walked up and down the boxes. Well, I can tell you the answer now, because I can show you I can remind you by showing you it, so you know she did buy it.
We couldn't even find who was selling the stuff. We found it there. There was a man sat on a chair right over in the corner.
There we go.
So
That
last.
is the first pan you bought,
Yep.
and that cost, we went over and said how much, and we were thinking anything under €3 is probably worth considering. And he said, €1.
Yes. So, I
And
think
you
have
could
that.
tell that we looked a bit surprised. We didn't know how buyer's
No,
face
because we've
on.
seen quite a few like this that were much more expensive.
They were
10
€5 and
euros,
10,
5, 10
yeah.
euros.
And so we looked a bit shocked, he said, and he turned around and he goes, yes, we are very cheap. Which we thought, that's what we like, very cheap. So that pan cost €1. Now I can tell by the weight of it.
Right. What I did to make things easier to bring home, I put things I bought into anything that was empty.
As you can see, it's like new on the inside as well as on the outside. It looks like it's never been used, to be honest, that pan. And on the inside we've got some lace.
Now there's a story to this lace. There was a lady there and she had a box of felt fabric, and it was £1 or €1 for the box full. It was about this size. I thought, ooh, I have that. But it stunk really badly of damp. So for the whole of the holiday, every day I'd wash a few pieces, hang them on the little rack out of the rail around the caravan, and I also washed these, and these things were in with the felt. Now there's the felt. Interestingly, if you soak felt, try and get smell out of it, all the different colours run. So this was white. And you can see it's now sort of, what we got, semi-solid we'll call it.
Somebody did a bit of crafting
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
look at this. There were some amazing things in there. Somebody's done some sort of, I'm not quite sure what that is. I'll show you on the back. They seem to have sewn and then sewn thickly and then cut it, something like that. So that was pretty. And got some lace, which has now gone yellow. So I'm going to say this is antique.
Oh, antique.
It's aged lace. It isn't really aged. It's just all the yellow felt ran all over it. So I don't mind. I may even dye some a darker brown with some coffee, something like that.
Got this. Look, a
A
doily.
doily. Everybody likes a doily. Again, yellow blotches.
Yeah.
They'll probably wash back out anyway.
This was Caroline's way of trying to say she didn't buy too much. She was saying, don't worry, I'll put it all in the pans and then it won't take much room.
So we've got a grey, and there is some more somewhere else. Oh, look at this. Somebody cut this off the bottom of an old dress or something, or a nightdress or a petticoat. You can see the fabric is ripe, it's so old. So I love that. I love the fact that it's so old and tatty and tearing easily. So I got that, and it's quite a, it's the length of that.
There we go.
So another
Now,
one of my purchases.
I
Do you?
actually have a lace-related question. So the question first is, do you have a jingle for question?
I should do.
Okay, folks, are you ready for a lace-related question? Now, when I wrote this lace-related question, it's not easy to say, you know, it was because, of course, during the brocante, while walking through those boxes, Caroline picked up some what we call net curtains and lace curtains with pandas on, which were absolutely wonderful, absolutely beautiful bit of curtain material there. But of course, we also have this lace, so I'm fully justified in asking a lace question.
Go, you ask a lace question. Go
I
for it.
will.
We're with you all the way.
Now, the first machine.
The first, not the second,
no,
the first machine.
First machine ever in the world to make lace was invented in the 1760s. And now, today, lace is made by machines all over the world. But it all started thanks to the innovation and skills and creativity of the people in which British town? Which British town did they invent the first lace machine and became the centre of lace making? Was it A, Nottingham, B, York, or C, Leeds?
Go.
There we go.
I know
Go,
what
go,
I'm
go,
going
go,
for just
go.
because I've heard of this town's lace.
Right, so you know what you're going for.
So I know I'm
Caroline
going
is used of this town's lace.
Which-
And
I'm right. I've got the first question
there
right.
we go. So are
That
there
doesn't
any
happen very
other
often.
crafters out there who think they know? Where are you thinking? 1760 created the first machine to make lace and took the world by storm. Of course, eventually they sold their machines and machines were copied, others invented them, just like the car and everything else. But it all began here, the automation of lace making, which meant they could produce fabric at such a phenomenal rate. And it took off.
Thanks, Ribble. It sounds like it's somebody. It's a bit like one of these cry ransom things. If they're saying they're offering to get my page back, they're obviously a dodgy site. So there's a good chance Facebook will have taken them down. If not, I'll go have a look after the show and I'll take them off. But thanks, that's great.
Now we
Know what's going on now.
We got lots of answers in.
Oh, we do, don't we? Wow. Right, just
Right, let's have a look here.
right then. Who's the winner? Who's first? I'm sure
Right
they're all
then.
winners.
Well,
really.
the first thing to do is to clarify which is the correct answer. And the correct answer is Nottingham.
I've heard of Nottingham lace.
Yes, and I think a few other people have. And I'm going to give the gold podium to Lexi,
Oh, well done, Lexi.
even though Lexi has invented a town I've never heard of. Because Lexi thought it was in Mottingham. But I think that's because M and
I
N
think
are
that-
next door
I
to
think
each
that's
other on
probably
the
a typo,
keyboard. So I'm going to accept that as a typo for
Especially
sure.
the way I type, I
Yeah.
certainly can't judge anybody.
But fair play, good on you, Lexi. You give it a capital M, so your grammar was right. This is just the spelling was wrong. So Lexi, you're in on the gold podium. Straight behind you is Tina Thompson. Tina, you've got the silver podium. Rachel Bailey, another lady who knows her craft, she's in on the bronze podium. And a special mention to Laura Sully Creations, because there was 4 in a row there that Laura just got pipped to the post by Rachel. So it's Lexi, Tina, Rachel. You got
Well
the first
done.
3
Congratulations.
podium positions at the quiz tonight. So there we go. We had a lace question. See, wasn't that? I had to jump to question number 3, but it was a lace question.
We got there. Right, do you want to do a find?
I did the blue find, didn't I?
You did the blue find. So let's have some... Yeah, I can't even speak properly. It's been such a long day. What about some happy news?
Go on then. If you've got a jingle, we'll have some happy news.
So me first, is it?
Go on,
Okay,
go on.
then.
I'll do mine later.
Since you
Go
passed
on,
me
go
mine.
on. Yes, you do yours. I'll do mine after.
Reading his story. See, I'm starting to laugh already. I hope this isn't too sad.
No, it's not. It's
Reading
very
his
happy.
story changed everything. 3 years ago, Araba Mays was reading a book to her niece on the front stoop, in a perfectly ordinary fashion. That's a stoop's a word, is it?
Yes, it's what they call the porch in certain parts of the States, I believe. They've taught
right.
the front stoop.
Well, you learn something every day.
Yeah, well, I didn't think to correct it. I thought I won't change
No,
it. 'Cause I'm
I thought you'd accidentally
sure
put
people from
step and put
Baltimore
stoop
wouldn't want me to change the word stoop.
Right, okay, then let me know, everybody. Do you say stoop? Right, but as the pages turned, the number of local children gathered around for stoop story time is coming up again, increased until she had to take notice. What are they doing, she thought. When she'd finished reading to them, they asked her to read another. Go home and read, she said. We don't have any books, they replied. Little did she know, but those fateful minutes of reading time launched Araba's career as a librarian and influencer who champions a cause of getting books into the hands of urban children with no access to libraries. And that whole paragraph didn't have one comma.
And I didn't punctuate it.
Right,
The people who wrote it on the
okay.
newsprint did.
right, we blame those. Now known as Storybook Maze, she started work at the nearest library, which wasn't that near, as her neighbourhood is one of the worst book deserts in Baltimore. Using her training, she began to curate collections of books and get them into the hands of children. Now, Storybook Maze is attempting her largest project yet, a book trolley. With the goal of raising $100,000 on GoFundMe, she hopes to have a colourful children's train that will toot its way through the book deserts of Baltimore, providing as many books as can fit in the carriage cars. Isn't that lovely? I know I was brought up without books, and you just miss out on so much. It really opens your mind to have books, so I really am a firm believer in that.
And what I loved about it was it's yet another example, and this comes up quite often in Happy News, another example of somebody who was just doing something so ordinary. Sat out on the porch with her niece reading a story. The children gather round, and through a conversation with the children, she realises there's a problem here. These kids don't have books. And what I love is she didn't just turn around and just get a couple of second-hand books and give them out. She actually went to her local library and she trained as a librarian, and then she got access to books and she started to bring the books to the children because the children couldn't get to the books. And that has grown and grown and grown. And in the full story, they were saying that she has now got such a following on TikTok and other places through social media that she will hopefully raise this money and be able to do this brilliant thing on behalf of the kids. But it's that noticing and then doing something about it. We had some friends and they were Salvation Army officers, and one day the one problem they had where they lived in their Salvation Army home was the kids used to come and climb on their wall. Children in the street with virtually nothing to do. They were just bored, so they were getting into mischief. So one day, our friend Ray, the captain of the local Salvation Army, decided that he'd have a bit of fun. So he crawled along the floor of his house, stuck a little toy glove puppet on his hand, and then popped the glove puppet up and started running back and forth the window. And the kids all sat on the wall, they all called their mates, and they were just watching the puppet go back and forth. So then he got another puppet. Then he started getting old stuffed toys from shops and taking the stuffing out and turning them into puppets. Then he got his two sons to help him. So there was 6 hands now, and they were doing a whole of puppet shows. And they ended up, for all the years they were here, we used to have them to our chapel, to our children's work, and they were putting on full-scale puppet shows for all the children in the area. And it all grew from just trying to entertain the children one day with a glove puppet just for a bit of fun. So it's amazing, you know. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't know, those opportunities don't come my way, but you never know what is an opportunity. No. You never know what will grow. You know, what's the old saying? Great oaks from little acorns grow. And I think this lady, and I'm sure she will, raises that 100,000 and makes that colourful train and toots its way through Baltimore, dropping off books with all the children as she goes in all the areas of the library. It all grew from the day she read a story to her niece. And I think that's great. I love those stories. I think they're brilliant. And I hope it encourages you as much as it encourages us. So there we go.
Rachel said, this New York girl always calls the front step a stoop. It's Dutch. And Phyllis said, we have stoops in Tennessee. The last step before stepping onto the porch. Neither on nor off the porch.
There we go. Now we know what it is. I'm sure I heard it in Tom Sawyer or something. I may have. I heard it some point in my history, but I never remember where. But I was probably watching Tom Sawyer on telly when I was a kid.
You did notice, did you, Lexi? Slight slip. I tried to go down on the chat by pressing the down arrow, and instead it took me onto the next little bit saved on my computer, which happened to be a jingle.
That's nothing. I've blued up all my chat. I don't know how to undo it.
Click Q.
Click there.
Yeah.
Doesn't
go
do
back.
it.
No, try clicking there then.
Oh,
No, don't click there. Don't click there.
There's no way to click.
Click up here then. Up here. Right there.
Ah.
What have you done?
I've
Phil's
broken.
broken it. Phil has broken the internet.
Hey, it's all back. Somehow I'd managed to blew up all the chat. You know, like you do before you copy and paste or delete. And because it blues up brown, I couldn't read it.
Okay, all you clever people out there, I'm sure somebody knows. If you've done that, is there a shortcut, Control and something, or Apple or something, that you could do to unblue everything? Useful to know.
Control A will blow it, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't know what
Karen saying in late. Hope everyone's well. We're well. Hope you are too, Karen. Better late than ever. Always lovely to see you.
Right then, so let's have another find. Should we do our silly finds, or should we leave those till later?
Oh, I don't know. Well, you've got one over there, look, that you could show. You've got your,
Look,
your 50 cent
Don't you
one.
tell me what to show people.
Look at the size on that.
It's a whopper. I saw that and thought, oh, that's lovely. I love this. And it's so old. It's got a lovely... You can just see by the colour and the state and the wood. That is certainly not new. And it's really long. I think that was probably used by a baker or somebody a bit more professional. And I thought, oh, let's see how much it is. 50 cents, which is less than 50p UK. So I thought, oh, I think I'll take that. And he's...
She didn't. She just said, yes.
Just done. Quick, take my money.
There was no I think about it.
No. And I love a bit of old wood. There's just something about the colouring of it. You can't get that. There's nothing you can put onto new wood that makes it really look old. It's just years and years of grease from people's hands and...
Well, that's what you
all
find
the
with this
cooking.
is the difference, the difference here to here.
Yeah.
Because that's been on the being used as for rolling the pastry, whereas the hands have held the end and the oils from your hand then keep oiling it and
That's
changing
very
the colour.
strange though, because when you think about it, pastry is like, was it 1/3 fat, half fat, something like that?
But it's
Depending
not
what you're making.
where you're gripping it and you're doing this. Then it's not the same as That's why you're getting. You won't get that unless it's the same on walking sticks. You get really old walking sticks, and you can see where people have been holding the top.
Okay? My dumbbell.
And always they comment on antique shows about how people will handle things and touch things, brass and that, and you end up with some bits are shiny and some bits are not, where people have been touching it. And I'll be able to show you an example of that before we finish today, because as I said, someone bought a lion and someone bought a cow.
Now, who would be silly enough to buy a cow?
I know, and who on earth would bring a lion home from France?
Yes.
I wonder who you think
Can't be one of
did
us.
what, and I wonder if you're right. You will find out before the end of the show.
Right,
So-
so another question? It's
Go on.
half past, we
I
better
think
have
we
another
should.
question.
I think we should.
Let's see if I can find the question this time.
Now, there was talk of apples or pommes, also pomme de terre, which, as I pointed out, because Caroline taught me this, is apple of the ground. So your apple on the tree is the apple that's a fruit, and the apple of the ground is the spuds, potatoes. And I showed you the advert for the two, and we showed you them selling them on the stall, $4.50 for a bagful. I also showed you that beautiful orchard just at the edge of town, which had the lovely sound of bird song. Therefore, I think I am justified in talking apples.
Go on then, you talk
I'm
apples.
going to talk
I'm not
apples.
going to stop you.
And because nearly every question ends up involving China, we will start with China, because China was the largest producer of apples in the world in 2021, when they produced over 101 billion
A billion?
billion pounds of apples. France, which is where we were looking at lovely apples, was only 9th on that list of the top 10 producers, and they produced 3.6 billion pounds. Now the USA almost came second to China, producing 9.8 billion. So China does 101 billion, and then just off the second place is the USA with 9.8. And they were pipped to the post by a country that produced 9.9 billion, which sounds like a very small measure, but I suppose 0.1 of a billion pounds of apples. That's got to be something like
You need a big bag.
that's got to be something like 100 million pounds of apples. So that's a lot, I suppose, in its own way. What I want to know is China at the top, France at 9th, USA a 3rd. Who is the country that came second, producing 9.9 billion pounds of apples? Was it A, Turkey, B, Poland, or C, India?
Go!
Now, I know what Caroline's guess is, and she's wrong.
I know. They told me this one earlier and I was
And
completely
you had a
wrong.
guess and you had it wrong. So what about the rest of you? You're going to all agree with Caroline to be wrong, or are you going to go with something different? Let's have a look at what the questions and answers say. So do you think we're asking who came second, so on the list. So they produced slightly more than the USA, but about 90 billion pounds less than China. Big place, China. So we're having a look now. We've got A is Turkey, B is Poland, C is India. Ooh, the answers are coming in, and there's everything down there.
Everything.
Everything. We're bound to have a winner because
Oh, Zeds, Kings.
actually I would say, what would you say? B's and C's most popular, do you think?
Definitely. Just
Yeah.
a few A's.
Yeah.
Glenn Device's mum says B. Are you right?
Ooh.
Yeah, solar flare, somebody was saying about somebody's feed. I think it was Ed's feed stuttering a little bit. These solar flares, never had any idea that they made that much of a problem on the Earth. And for the day that it was this worst, the solar storm they call it, isn't it? We had terrible trouble just trying to get any sort of anything electronic working. We were over in France. But it also turns out that we never see the Northern Lights down this far, let alone down in France. We didn't even look. Shut the curtains, settle down, get up in the morning. There's a Facebook group I follow that always goes to that are based on this site. Somebody'd come on, look at the Northern Lights, and they put a picture of it. So everybody was rushing out, getting pictures of the Northern Lights, and they were putting them up on. And we got up in the morning, I missed it. So we could have seen the Northern Lights, but we didn't. So I sulked. I didn't sulk. I did leave the bedroom curtains open all night the next night because they said there was a chance you'd see them, but there was nothing. Bit disappointing. Anyway, I digress.
Right, you digress. And I have an announcement to make.
Oh, go on then.
There are only 3 correct answers.
Ooh, does this mean the correct answer is A then?
Yes, it does. The correct answer is Turkey. Because Turkey produced the 9.9 billion, just beating the USA. Now, the other 2 countries, Poland, they came 4th behind the USA, and 5th was India. So they are the top 5, but the second place was Turkey, which means we have a gold podium place for Rachel Bailey,
Well done, Rachel.
who was quite early in, and then we have to come way down to get Anne Goodwin
Well done, Anne.
and Jason.
Well done, Jason.
So Anne and Jason, you've got the silver and the bronze, and Rachel Bailey, you've got the gold because it is Turkey.
I really wouldn't have guessed Turkey.
Not Caroline actually said, well, I think it's India, but it's probably Poland. So there we go. Caroline
I
agreed
guessed 2 of
with
them and it was the other one.
everybody on the board except 3, because Caroline guessed one of the. Because Caroline was working on the premise India's got a large population as well as China, but I don't know that India's got perhaps the temperatures and everything else that you need in as many regions as China has for growing apples.
Yeah.
So it's all down to having the right, because it's such a vast place. They'll find room to grow 5 billion pounds of apples. But yeah, it was Turkey, and it seems we caught quite a few of you out just like Caroline. Well done to those who got it right. You know who you are now.
I just thought I'd have a peek and see if we had clear skies tonight, because apparently tonight there could be some views of the Northern Lights. We've got clouds. So I thought, oh, it's looking quite dark. I'll go check. It's because the clouds are out there. And they're very dark and grey.
And say too much light pollution where they are.
Yes. always a
Lexi
problem,
parked
isn't
in the
it?
middle of the field just outside the village to see them without light
Oh,
pollution.
good idea.
Yeah, I hope we get another chance of the Northern Lights. There we
I
go.
think if we knew it was going to be definitely on, like tonight, about midnight, we could go for a ride up our mountain. Many of you have seen that, where we have the horses and the sheep and the cows all wandering around the place, and it's pitch dark up there. So we could just drive. It's only half a mile away. We could see it, but I don't want to do that midnight in the cold if it's not really going to happen. So I'll look out and see if there's any hope a bit later on, but I'm not too optimistic. Right then, should we have
No.
another fight? What's the matter?
Hang on, yeah, because there was mention earlier on, I think it was Linda Peterson mentioned that it would be, I think there was some mention of a yellow roasting pan would be nice. So I thought maybe you'd
yellow
like to
roasting pan.
show
Do
your...
you mean like a yellow enamel?
It's not one of the
It's not a
roasting
roasting
pans,
pan, but look
but
at
it's
this.
certainly a nice looking
I
thing.
need something for boiling up the fabrics on the. I'm going to try some fabrics, some wool, some fibre for spinning because I started spinning again. So I got this one, and this one was €3,
€3.
which I didn't want to pay more than €3, so I got this for €3, and it's got a few, it's got some marks. I have given it a wash, but I think it's going to need a good scrub.
And remember, Caroline mentioned some felt. Here's the felt.
So I got loads of it. What I have found is if you wash felt and you're a bit vigorous with it because you're trying to get the smell out, and then you hang it up badly, you end up with like bumpy felt. It's a bit stretched and distorted. I'm going to put the iron over it. It'll be fine. I'll come up with something I can use bumpy felt for. But as you can see, this was half of the felt. If I get all this out, there. Oops, I can hold it. This is half of the felt fabric that I got for €1, which isn't too shabby, I don't think. And it smells washing powder now, washing liquid, but there's still a slight damp smell to it. So what I might do is hang it on the line, let the sun shine all over it, and see if that helps.
You've got to pick the right day in Wales if you want the sun to shine all over it.
Yeah, I think we got rain every day for the week now.
Yeah,
So-
we had some pretty good rain in France, didn't we?
We did, very good.
Had some gorgeous
love
temperatures, but
thunder
when
and lightning.
when the thunderstorm came, it didn't half rain.
But so that's my pot, and I'm going to have great fun dyeing with that. Because at the moment I've got some lichen. Some people say lichen, some people say lichen. I've got some lichen in some ammonia on my windowsill, and I shake it every day. And apparently that'll give me a like purple yarn or purple fabric. So that'll be interesting to see. I need to get some alum sulfate or something mordant first to put in it. I've only ever used Kool-Aid for dyeing. So this is going to be a fun experiment. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Hang on.
Hang on, we're hanging. What? Why
There
am
we
I
go.
hanging on?
Because I misread and I saw Anne and saw the A, but the A is below, so
Oh,
fair play.
You bad boy.
Fair play. Everybody is shouting at me because the silver podium, you'll have to just go share the bronze podium with Jason because the silver podium's just been vacated by Anne and handed over to Beata.
Oh, well
because
done, Beata.
I look down and that's
Oh,
the thing.
silly Billy.
Things move round in my eyesight.
Silly
I can't.
Billy, I should call you.
You can't rely on me.
No.
Sorry
His
about that,
dyslexia
folks.
plays havoc with him.
Oh, what an honest lot you are. There again, it was down there in black and white for everyone to see bar me. Well done. There we go.
Ooh,
Okay,
Ed's
check
according to
that.
the app on his phone, it's going to be sunny tomorrow and Monday. And mind you, Cardiff, we're further up, so it may not be the same because you get lovely weather down your way sometimes, and up here it's raining. And it's always colder. We're up in the mountains.
I've just realised I'm on your thing, innit?
You're on my thing.
Yeah. See,
Oh, sorry, Phil's commenting on my...
I haven't commented anyway, but I just thought, Anne picked up on my Home on the Hillside because that's where I'm under, because
Yes.
I'm on Caroline's
It's
computer.
not supposed to be. He's supposed to be on Let's Go.
Well, I'm on Let's Go, but on your...
Yes, you signed in as me.
I'm signed in as you.
It's an imposter.
I am. I'm an imposter. But I'm not going to correct it because it'll all go wrong. Yeah,
Right.
we have one the same. West Country Meadows is singing.
All right.
I have a pan similar to that, said Ed.
Right?
So there we are. It's a popular
Oh,
pan.
they are very popular. Oh, I'm now one of the in crowd then.
Yeah, and there's stuff being said about felt. There we go.
Right.
There we go. With people wishing each other happy birthdays for belated birthdays.
What are we going to do now?
Right. Now then, there was an inquiry. Do you remember? Do you all remember when we were on the one stall?
You look like Tommy Cooper.
It was.
Like
I think it was the stall
He's like
that
a-
had. Haha. I think it was the stall that had the White House, West
Wing.
Wing in French. And Caroline was viewing up 2 pans. I thought she was going to buy the one. Then I thought she was going to buy the other. There was a stainless steel pan with a glass lid, I believe it was, and there was an enamel pan with a pattern around it. And I said, well, she can't buy two. She can't make her mind up. And which one will she buy? Now, folks, which did you think Caroline would go for? Do you think she went for the stainless steel pan? Or do you think she went for the patent pan? Because I am about to reveal the answer to that question.
Excitement.
Because here it is, still with the sticker on the lid. Caroline went stainless steel. Being very practical and thinking what was best, I suppose, for the job you wanted to do. And as I say, the
€3, which is the price I wanted to go to.
And then inside here, as you can see, Manky and Panky have already discovered these because they've been playing all the time with these.
Oh, they love the pipe cleaners.
In the €1 bag of felt were also all of these. All of these very vibrant coloured pipe cleaners. So they'll be handy. And of course, more felt.
Lots and lots of felt.
But there we go. What were you thinking? Plain not patterned, lol.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of people play patterned.
Now we're playing plain and patterned with saucepans. It's getting madman. Well, there we are. I imagined that most people would go for the patent. I thought Caroline would go for the patent. But on this occasion, she decided to be practical and decided that this was a very nice pan for the job.
I can see what's going on inside.
Complete with the little hole to let the steam out.
What more could you want? It's got a little hole.
And it's stainless steel and it's got the two solid handles on it. So we went plain, not patterned on this occasion.
Right then, before we do anything else, is your computer running out of power because the screen's just gone dark?
It's down there, it is.
I can't see any marks. Sorry about this.
Yeah, it is. It's running out of power.
Could you possibly go get me the thing?
I'm going to go get a lead because it's about to run out of power. And if it runs out of power...
I can leave you in charge if you like. It's just that...
No, you carry on, dear. You carry on. Do you want to show you... Do you want to ask the question, do they think you got the cow or the lion?
I think I don't need to now. Okay, then. Oh, don't I look lonely all on my own? I'm used to having a very full studio area. Okay, then, so the question is, who do you think bought the... I'll tell you what, we say, it gets a bit confusing. Who do you think bought the cow? Put your answers in the comments and let's see if you get it right. I don't know which way you're going to go. Am I more of a cow person than a lion person? Is Phil more of a cow person than a lion person? And how big? What sort of cow? What sort of lion? But let's see what you think. Right. No, there's nothing coming. I keep forgetting there's like a 20-minute delay on this, so we have to wait. And I'm thinking, Phil, run, because this computer's about to die. But yeah, when we went, I normally don't buy, you know me, I'm very minimalist. I like simple, I like plain, and nothing sort of overly fancy or overly loud or anything like that. And then I saw this one thing and I thought, as daft as it sounds, I can't leave it there. So I'm trying to find the hole to plug my computer in. Can you see the hole? Phil, you're going to have to do that. I can't see it.
It's not there, that's right, it's over there.
Wrong side. My eyes, I should have put my glasses on, shouldn't I?
There we go. Now we should have power.
So, what did I say now? Who's going to buy the cow? So, let's have a look. Phil, cow. Linda said Caroline. Bonnie Tyler said Phil. Phil. West Country Mudlark. Laura Sully. Glen Device. Phil. Lion for Phil said Ribble. And 20 minutes. No, sorry, Ed. It's a 20-second delay. Did I say minutes?
You did. I was coming down the stairs and I thought, she's having a 20-minute delay?
Do you remember the days when I wasn't daft?
I do. I totally relied on this woman for everything. And now I just frightened.
Yeah. Neither of us are any good at anything.
Not because I've never been any good. I've rubbish memory, totally, all my life. So I marry a girl with an exceptionally good memory. And now
that's all he wanted me for was my memory.
It was. I remember saying to her, I'm going to marry you for your memory. So there we go. The truth is...
I'm going to reveal my... Do you want to do your first or mine first?
No, you do yours, dear. You do your €1 purchase.
You ready? I just couldn't leave that behind. It's a saxophone playing cow. Obviously a girl, because she got her udder. She's got a rather loud jackety thing on. She's got flowers painted everywhere. And I just think she was so silly. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I don't even know if I really want it in the house, but I just think it is fun. It makes me laugh, and if it makes me laugh, makes me smile, then why not? I don't think it's a special make. If you look on the bottom, there's nothing on there. Sometimes they've got like made in so-and-so studio or something like that. It's not. But it cost me €1. It's great fun. Reminds me a bit of the Day of the Dead type skulls and things. Which are, if you look at the decoration, then you just got that sort of vibe to it. But it's not Day of the Dead, it's Day of the Cow and saxophone.
There you go.
So there you go. Most of you were wrong. You all thought Phil would buy the silly cow.
Yes, I didn't buy a silly cow. I spent
Go for there.
€8.
€8.
€8.
This man has too much money.
I only bought one thing. We walked miles of Bracont. I bought one thing, and I spent €8. And folks, most expensive buy of the lot. Caroline got 2 pans, a rolling pin, and a nappy bucket for €8.
Yep.
But here it is. Worth every penny, I think.
It is much more impressive, I think.
That was my €8 purchase. And I like it. To go on my desk down the shed, so I know what day it is. Other than the fact I don't know what day it is, because I haven't learnt my days in French yet. I've got the right month, but I probably got the wrong day on there.
You have to come down a bit.
But there we go. And as I was saying about over the years where people have touched this and rubbed it, you can see the different colours. Especially on this side here, you see there, and then the black here where it hasn't been rubbed, but then the head has been touched. And I think that's about.
Well, Rachel likes it.
I did like that, so much so.
Philly said lying on a plinth.
Yeah, a lion on a plinth. And of course, it wouldn't be me if it wasn't broken.
No.
The mechanism, this works perfectly, the lion is fine, but at some point in its life, if you look, the base has got a crack right through it, just under the lion's feet there. And it's been glued back together by someone, and I think that's fine.
For sure, none of the date changes. This is the real cool bit. This is what I like.
This is what's nice. Is the nice smooth movement on that.
Isn't that clever?
Now we'll have to go backwards because I've got to get back to the 18th.
And it's a really well-made thing. You can feel it. It just feels so smooth. Everything runs really wonderfully.
Yeah.
It's such a really nice thing.
I don't think it was a classy. It wasn't an expensive thing originally. Not super expensive. It was a mid-range. The way the casting is and all that. But I just love it. I just think it's got age, and it's useful. And it's got a bit of French on it. So it reminds me of my holidays. So much so, I went €8 and bought it.
You did. Cool.
Made someone's day, because they don't sell stuff for €8 very often.
More
over
money
in.
than sense.
Oh, yeah, that's quite true. Quite true. So there we go. That was my purchase.
Because I have no idea what one of those is actually worth. It could be worth a fortune.
I don't know.
It's never going anywhere though, because it feels
It'd probably get 20 quid on eBay, but that's not the point. If we were buying and selling, we'd have bought it anyway and sold it on. But I just thought, I do like a bargain, and I'll go down my shed. Shall we do another question?
Yes, we better had.
Now, as I panned along, just before going over to show you the nativity set that the man with the cart ran off with.
Yes, which Phil went on about rather a lot. He was devastated.
In my nativity set, I want your cart. We saw a big checkers board, chessboard. So I'm going to ask a question related to the biggest chessboard in the world. In the world. And I'm going to ask you, which country hosted a Grandmaster chess tournament where the chessboard was 6,400 square meters?
That's a big one.
Each square was 10 by 10 meters. Was it A, Switzerland, B, Norway, or C, Germany?
Go!
Which do you think hosted a Grandmaster tournament. The Grandmaster of their country played against the Grandmaster of another country. And what they did was they mowed the grass on 10 meters by 10 meters. Then next to it, they ploughed the ground 10 meters by 10 meters. So you had green and brown rather than white and black. And they got a huge field and they did this thing that was 6,400 square meters. That's big. And I need to know which of those countries was the host country. Was it done in A, Switzerland, B, Norway, or C, Germany? Oh, what a lot of answers.
Right, Lexi said, are you going to polish your lion?
No.
Right, there you go. That's a no. Ribble said, easy to put a new base on that. Nice bit of wood. And Glenn Device, haven't seen one of those desk calendars for ages. Lots of people like it. So, there we go. All my answers coming in. So, do we have a winner?
Yes, we do.
Good.
In fact, the first 3 answers in were correct.
Oh, well done.
Because the answer is Norway, and their Grandmaster was playing the Grandmaster from Germany. When they did it, I think it was 2017 they did it.
You'd be exhausted if you were doing this. If the Queen can go right down the board.
Well, what they may have done, I don't know, but what they may have done was
you need to stop for a picnic break halfway along the
what I would have done
the board
was add people dressed as the players, and then you could just say to the person, right, you go there.
Yeah, but imagine the Queen now. She's got to go, or the Bishop has got from this end to that end diagonally. Say, if you could hold on, give me 20 minutes.
When you think about it, it's only 10 metres per square. 6,400 sounds a lot because it's square metres.
Yeah, so then that would be
going across the board.
How many is 8?
So that would be...
So it'd be 80 metres.
Something like that.
It's still not a fast game.
Because if you think it's 80 metres by 80 metres, which is 8 8 to 64, and it suddenly goes to a big number.
Yeah.
So, the first 3 answers in were correct, and they are... Ed Creative on gold.
Well done, Ed.
Our friends West Country Mudlarks on silver.
Well done, West Country Mudlarks.
And I tell you what, she's really on the ball tonight because Rachel Bailey's back on a podium
well done,
again.
Rachel.
Yeah, and to be honest, we had 3 correct answers, but then we had 6 incorrect answers before we had another correct answer. So B wasn't the most popular. It wasn't the most popular. Shall I do my happy news?
And before you do, Linda was saying for her birthday, she treated herself to watching the Johnsons video, opening gifts from friends, and sharing a buttercream birthday cake. Sounds like a wonderful day.
It does indeed.
I hope you did enjoy it. I'm sure it does sound like you did. Brilliant.
Right then, shall we have a happy news jingle?
Happy news, happy news.
Pensioners put on their boxing gloves. A 21-year-old is helping the elderly in senior homes stay fit with his boxing lessons that elevate focus and fun. When he was just 17, Bailey Greetham Clark was asked to speak at a day centre for adults with educational needs. After this experience, Bailey realised that people from vulnerable groups do not have the same access to sport and fitness as others. So he started a well-being company called Be Great Fitness. He now travels around Lincolnshire, England, making fitness and sport accessible to schools, hospitals, community centres and senior care homes. Coming out of the pandemic, we thought it was essential, he said, to bring fitness to them, especially to spread some joy and cheer. Sport and exercise cheer people up. We make jokes and have a laugh, and we make their day better. It was so successful, Bailey now takes his fitness classes into 20 to 30 different care homes, guiding residents through 1-hour sessions with the boxing. Bailey struggled with a challenging upbringing. He was taken in by his grandparents, which kick-started his passion for helping the elderly. When he was 14, he was forced to take a year out of school and struggled with his weight. Then he discovered boxing to keep fit, and his whole outlook changed, setting him on the pathway to where he is today. And I thought that was a brilliant story because, and I included that little piece at the end because for me that's what the story's all about. A young boy, 13, 14 years of age, has tough upbringing, taken in by his grandparents. It got so bad for him that he had to take a year out of his education because of weight problems and other issues. Battles his way through, and in the midst of it, for him, his saviour at that time was boxing. That's what brought him through. And today, in his early 20s, this guy is going round all people's homes all over Lincolnshire and bringing joy and happiness, putting boxing gloves on the old people and putting up his hands with the pads and having them to punch and having a laugh and a joke. And he is transforming the lives of so many people, and he is creating joy out of what could have been a full stop on his life. But instead of that, it was just a turning point. Right? He turned that, what would have been for some a cul-de-sac, into a turning point, and he has gone on to do such great things. And I found that so inspiring. And I wanted to share it with you all, and I hope it encourages you.
And it's nearly 10 o'clock, so we better do our last question.
Have we found all the finds? We've shown all the finds that we've got.
All done.
Oh no, you got that one up on top.
What?
We better just show that because
a few bits and pieces around the place.
I've got one over here. One each.
No,
They're all yours.
Mine. This was
€2.
Oops. It's a little terrarium. Look at that. It's green.
Little greenhouse.
It's really pretty. It's cute. I don't know. I don't really need it. I don't know why I bought it other than the fact it was just cute.
For €2, you just couldn't leave it there.
No, I couldn't. It's so pretty.
Be honest, you wouldn't have forgiven us if we'd left it there, would you?
So
No.
I get some little cacti and things and make a proper little sort of display in there. I don't know yet. I'll see how it goes. I think that'll be fun.
Right? And this is also Caroline's. And this was another one we just couldn't leave there. Because although it hasn't got the key, it's got a very straight, snappy lock on it. And for Caroline, when we're travelling to carry craft stuff and things in, it is perfect. And that, we had to buy it because it was
€1.
Oh yes, in euro. So there we go. Right, shall we have that final question of the night?
Yes, here we go, if I can find it.
Right, now I know this is going to be contentious, because it always is. But at least this time, Monkey, you were not to blame. How many dogs did you see in this week's video? Was it A, 8, B, 10, or C, 12?
Go! And while you're thinking out how many it was, two of our finds when we were away, two bouncy balls. So I get the feeling bouncy balls are coming back in popularity. Yeah. So, see if I can get it to bounce up. Can you see that? Whoop.
Whoa.
There it goes.
Try that one.
Try that one.
Woo! That was good.
that was a lot bouncier.
Whoop.
That was gone as well. I'm nobody good at catching.
But we didn't buy those.
No,
we found those when we were out walking.
Yes, somebody had obviously been playing with them and they bounced away.
What is a French holiday without a ball?
Yes. You know us, we do like finding our balls.
Right then, let's have a look here. Ooh, right. We've got, I've got all sorts of answers today.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot coming in.
Yeah, we got quite a variety.
Ed's been giving us a very comprehensive
Oh, yes.
thing here. 11 red reckons. Ooh. And did I even miss one? Or count an extra? Bouncy ball in German is a flummy. A flummy? Not sure.
If we'd had time, one of the questions tonight was how many ducks were at the end piece, but we've run out of time. So if we'll give you a bonus gold podium for that, Ed, anyway, because you had 4 waddling ducks and 4 waddling ducks. All right then, folks. The answer is, I can tell you now, Ed, I'll put you out your misery. Did you miss one? Or did you see one that wasn't there? You missed one, sir.
Ooh.
You missed one at 2.40. That's the one you missed. You got all the others. Perfect. But you missed one at 2.40. I don't blame you. It was as I walked into the first brocante and as I panned away from the tractor, just walking past the tables was a gentleman with his dog as it faded out. So that's the one you missed. So we are looking for 12. We are looking for 12, but you've done a brilliant job there. And 12 is
It's not the
C.
most popular answer there, is it?
No, but we have got some C's. I just got to check now because I get confused. People put down the numbers. But it's okay. It's okay. Bonnie Tyler fan 34.
Well
You
done,
are the
Bonnie Tyler
first
fan.
C. Going down, going down. Dan Fetters.
Well done, Dan.
Going down, going down, going down, going down, going down, down, down. Hang on, hang on.
Hang on. He's got it wrong again, is he? Have you got it wrong? Shall I have a look? We will be...
No, Bonnie Tyler fan, Dan Fetters. I don't know if there is another one.
Oh, yes. Bonnie Tyler fan, yeah. And then going down, Dan Fetters. And West Country Medlarks are in with 12.
Ah, well done.
Well done, as I can't answer.
Fair play. I think there's a cheeky lol afterwards. We'll give you the place you
Yeah,
deserve
got the place,
it.
yeah.
All is fair in love and war and the Johnson's quiz. So there we go. The first people to notice that there wasn't a third correct answer. So it was Bonnie Tyler fan, Dan Fetters, and cheeky but
West
getting
Country
in there,
Medlarks.
just beating Lexi, who came in with a C. We've got West Country Medlarks. Yep. If you check Ed's answer, he's got them all bar 2.40, which was the very first dog on there. There were a few. I tell you what, anybody who spotted, which one was it? I've got them all written down here, and there was one that I nearly missed. When he was sat on a chair, this little dog was sat in a chair at the back of a white van. There was one there, and that one nearly caught me out. And so, well done to everyone for having a go.
Oh, wait a minute. We've got a dispute.
Oh, hang on, I missed
Yes,
Rachel, did I?
Rachel Bailey. Oh, well, Rachel, you were first in. Is that right? Yep.
Oh, sorry, Rachel.
Right, so everybody, you'd all stepped out, one on the podium, but you have to let Rachel onto the top first place podium.
You know what happened, didn't you? Ed's answer is so big, I didn't see anybody above it.
Now that's the best excuse
No,
he's
I
used
read,
so far.
I read Ed's answer and I thought it was the
I
beginning.
used the same, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw Ed's answer and then I read
Sorry,
from there
Rachel.
down. Well, Rachel, I'm not surprised because you've been pie-up tonight. I think you've been on a podium on every question, so it's only right that you finish gold position to Rachel. Big round of applause for Rachel.
And Lexi said, is there extra points for naming the breeds? No, because we don't know what they are ourselves.
Which then moves Dan Fetters to Bonnie Tyler fan to silver, Dan Fetters to bronze, and the cheeky bronze for the West Country Medlarks. We'll give you a bronze gilt for being cheeky
silver
anyway.
guilt for being cheeky.
But well done. Well, what do you expect, folks? We nearly didn't even get on live tonight. As it is, I've just managed to mess up 2 out of 4 questions.
That wasn't bad for us.
Thanks
Right,
for being here, everybody.
Yeah, it's been great fun having you all over. And we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget, have fun. Bye.
Bye.